Hello everyone. Hope I'm audible. Give me a second. Let me. Sorry guys. Hope I'm audible and everyone can see. Yeah. Okay. So welcome everyone, and I know we generally connect on Microsoft Office, and we suddenly have to move due to my unavailability as well. And also, I think it's good because today is happening. I think cricket match is happening, and you can enjoy that one as well. So while you are in the session, and you can check and you can enjoy both. So today we going to focus on something very important session. Uh, so in as a Microsoft MVP in my area is actually identity and access, which is the entire identity level protection. So that's why I thought of let me share my story how we have implemented, because rather than I'm doing a presentation how what is the zero trust and how we can implement, because there is no any parameter saying that okay, this is what you have to do, but I'll show you a guideline where you can start. But there's nothing like you can start. There's a document version where this is the zero trust. So it's actually each and every product, like let's say uh, for the identity level, and different AWS, and there are many solutions, like even the Cloudflare. There are many applications. Everyone has their own zero trust. So zero trust is something architectural design where with the three pillars we actually uh, uh, we manage those stuff. So we will go through each and uh, uh, every aspect on the zero trust, and also I will share you what on the Entra level, because this session I'm not planning to go on very basic stuff like uh, introduction of the zero trust to and going on the book. Like I'm not going to do that part. I think I have done the those sort of a introduction previously and session previously. But today let's go on how the task we can actually implement. So I will go through certain tasks which might be very important to your organization, and how we can implement those stuff. Because uh, when we looking at the environment, most of the customer environment, we see that so many gaps are there. So today we're going to talk about little bit about the controllers, what we can put it on there, and same time this zero trust is actually, end of the day, it's actually the heavy part. I think the most of the heavy part is actually done by the our conditional access. So after that we will come on the conditional access, and also even though we control everything on the conditional access, we need to know that we need to protect the conditional access as well. So there are things, actually I will go through each and every scenarios, and also the customer scenarios we have faced. So like, it's sort of a experience sharing today's session. So you will get those experience how we implement, and also the customer level uh, customer side challenges, because uh, when we implement those stuff we will face different challenges, because users are uh, using those technologies, how I have uh, roll out those stuff. Because uh, I do have experience on service level, and like service integration as well, as a partner. And also now I do have experience on a customer as well. So these are two different experience, because for the service integration partner, it is actually just a task list we want to execute, but we are not actually looking at what impact, and also how these will uh, how it's difficult to roll out to the most of the users. Because in general, might be, let's say, a small medium business, it's very easiest to manage because it's a very limited crowd and less than 300 crowd, and we can manage it. But I'm talking about more than 10,000 customers, 10,000 users. So it's the business is totally different. Business is not actually on the IT side. So users are not willing to change. So that's where the scenarios we need to discuss, and we will go through a sort of a little by little on certain task, and after that I will share you a way where you can actually start analyze your environment, and because the assessment is there already, and you can actually run that and start doing that. But I will give you some hints how we can implement those controls. So and also feel free to raise your hand and stop me if you have any questions, or I will ask in the later stage as well. So I want this to be have a interactive session, because uh, then I can actually talk a little bit further as well. So if you ask more questions, if you have any challenges, let me know, and I'll try my best to give you answers. And we'll see how the zero trust journey will go on today. And today I'll be talking about top level stuff like the controls what we have done. And but there are many tasks you will see once you start to analyze the zero trust architect. And so and I think I've been repeating this statement for a while now. So a security engineer and or IT engineer, our job is not to make sure that users cannot do their work. We are not actually people who block everything. So our task is to make sure that find the right uh, right balance. So you need to make sure that we have controls as well as the users can work and their productivity go high. It's sort of a balance. We need to make sure that. So these when you implement this zero trust architect, you need to make sure that while you are protecting the environment, you you are giving the freedoms to work the users and automate certain stuff. So that's where we need to come on there, because putting all the controls will not work for many organizations. Then the productivity go down. And I remember like certain controls what I have defined, I had to change, because even though it's documented saying that this is the timeline, this is the duration, this is the control you need to put it, but it might not be the case for your organization. You can use this as a baseline, but you need to change based on your feeling, your experience on the organization, because not all the organizations are work as this way. And if you implement everything, definitely like it will be a like very safe environment. But there are certain changes we have to make sure that uh, relaxed configuration has to be done. So let's open my task list. So I do have a certain list actually I want to talk about. So I think when we look into the entire, let me share my screen. I think so. Then you will see the my test environment, and also let me turn off my camera so it much easier. So hope everyone can see my screen. So this is actually not a let's say this architect. So zero trust architect, let me talk about a little bit on the zero trust architect. So in the zero trust framework, we have few philosophies like, so we always always verified. So everything need to be verified, and also we need to use least privilege, and also we need to make sure we need to see that this is we need to like the third principle is the assume breach. So those are the three principles we start to work. and based on these principles, we build these architectures. So uh, I remember in very I think in my very first job, I remember when we doing the O365 migration, I used to say that, okay, when you have because previously we didn't have the like SMS and voice. So uh, I go and talk about like, okay, there's a two-factor is there, and now you will get the SMS alerts, and you have calling facilities. So because of that, your account will not get compromised. But unfortunately, I've been actually going with different partners over last 13 years in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka only have top four, 3 or 4 partners. So because of that, I've been like jumping to a different partner, but serving the same customer base. So I did the migration. I did the the pitch to the management, but now I got a call from while I'm working for a different customer. My customer, he has been, like, their account has been got compromised, but I'm saving that customer again from a different customer. So I got that call when we looking at the environment. Yes, they have implement what we have asked to implement, and not the ask, like what we have implement. It's already there. So, but yet organization has been compromised. Not the organization, the user has been got compromised. So these technologies will always change, and same time the attackers also will change their tactics. So uh, we that's why we always need to prepare, like everything can be compromised, everything is compromised, and what is the worst case, how we can prevent it. That's where the principles coming on. Uh, and also the example I got, like the SMS. So authentication method, let's go to authentication methods. So each and every organization still using the SMS calling and SMS alert. I think even many of my customers, many of my users are actually like to use the uh, uh, the SMS and the voice message, because it might be different to the age gaps. Like, might be like a matured person might be using still the SMSL, because to them it took a little bit time to even they adapt. But now it's they're actually always using it. But right now, there are many authentication methods has been available. And even like, let's say, if you anyone, like, I'll give you an example about my personal experience, right? Okay, uh, I got a like, my wife called me and asked me to check his phone is not working. So I just I'm a technical guy, but my wife is not non-technical. But when I check in my wife phone, I saw that there are many applications she has already installed. So so this is very common to most of the users. Like, for me, because we are running a phishing campaign, and we are getting educated, and we know about the risk. Because of that, even if I get a email with a link, I'm not actually even considering opening it. And if you see something in your laptop, it's a little bit different, and trying to execute, or something you download is not seems to be like genuine, you are not actually going to open it. But for the other users, it's totally changed. So that's why these SMS and calling methods are now obsolete, because these are uh, can be compromised. Because you have seen, like, each and every time you install application, you will have it will ask as the permission to read your SMS contacts, and make calls. And we actually unknowingly we are giving the permissions to most of the application. And even, like, let's say, a genuine gaming app can be cloned, and we can use as a different app. People can send with a link and ask us to install it. there are many things are going on, and even I have seen like many people are inviting to different games and different applications. So it's not secure right now, even though I mentioned like my previously in my early stage, we market this SMS and the voice are much secure, but now things are actually getting compromised because of these things. So, and also uh, the authentication methods, most of our users, let's say, they are not actually using a up-to-date mobile phone. So even I have seen certain of my managers, they actually security managers, but they still using the old phone because for them phone is still working. Why they want to change it? To us, actually, we are actually looking at the better, okay, the camera and the display, and we want the features. But for most of the other users, most of the other users, actually, they are not willing to change. They are not willing to buy a new phone. So as I remember that the Android phone, it's only work, only get update for nearly 4 years or something like that. Apple will get more than that, but people, we are still using. I have seen many users who still use very old phones. So it's not secure when you're working with these two-factor authentication with these mobile phones. So that's why we need to make sure that these the uh, legacy methods we need to turn off. So how we can do that? It's very easy. We can go to authentication methods and we can change it, but that's not the case, because whatever you do on here, it impact to the users. So it's very easy for us, just go to SMS and make sure we just need to disable it. That's the only thing we have to do from IMs, from the from the technical uh, side. But we need to make sure that the impact is well less. So how I have done this part? So first of my challenge is to make sure that, okay, we need to have like, let's say, let's we need to have a sort of visibility. You can run certain commands, you can get certain visibility how users are using it. There are many community dashboards are there. So first, my initial change was to make sure that the voice call is disabled. So it's disabled, and after that, I start uh, sending comms, start doing session to users in that. Okay, the passkey method is now available. You can use it. You don't need, like, I just start marketing the passwordless method, because people need to have a leverage or a feature or something. They need to go and use it, and rather than we saying that, okay, this is method is obsolete and this can be hacked, people will not move. But if you say that, okay, if you are you like, our password, actually the password policy is very complicated, and it's really hard to remember. So people are actually looking for a method to going out from the password. So we market the passwordless methods. So then you can easily move the people to the Fidoki, the passkey method, and authenticate the passwordless authentication, and those methods, actually you can push it the people to there. So that's a one way you can actually roll out these authentication methods. And I think one of the key security, because if you have the MFA, I think 80% or 90%, I have seen some that facts. So most of the if you have the proper MFA methods, most of the attacks are actually stops when you have that MFA. So that's a basic configuration, and if you have that one, so then you actually get protected. And uh, there are many options. The temporary access pass and passkey, Windows Hello, and there are many methods actually you can use. And when you actually rolling out the passkey on the authenticator, you need to have the like find the users actually, like let's say if you have the VDI users, those users cannot be login, and there are some application will not work the passkey. You need to start rolling with the very less users, and these are actually not the configuration you can enable for all the users, but these are enforced with the conditional access. So when I go to the start the conditional access side, I'll explain. So you need to start with these small badges and start rolling out with many users, and you need to, these actually need more education on the user side, more awareness, do more sessions, you write more viewer post or send email. I'm not sure if people are actually looking at the emails nowadays, but use Teams or whatever the mechanism you can communicate to users, saying that okay, this is the change on the authentication side, and this is more protective, and also it's more flexible. You don't need any password, you don't need to remember the password. So one way is make sure that your password is much complicated, so then people start to moving on this side. And yeah, so to work the passkey, definitely there are two options need to have. One is the Windows Hello. So when you have Windows Hello, it's much convenience for the users because they don't need always to open their mobile phone and scan the QR. So that's one thing. So second thing would be the passkey with the Windows Authenticate app. So both need to be enrolled when we rolling out the passkey. So that's the key area. So if you rolling out the passkey, you need to make sure that Windows Hello is enabled, and second option would be passkey authentication method. So then your story will be success. And also when you onboarding users, let's say right now your workday or your lifecycle management application is actually creating the users and sending the first login password, you need to actually remove it and start using the temporary access pass. So you can automate this stuff actually with your lifecycle management IGA tool, or Microsoft also has our own lifecycle management, and this actually you can start using. And also for the temporary access password, once you enable it, you can actually use for your service desk, and when they ask us to change a password, they can actually release a password with a duration, one time use. So there are many options which will be available with the temporary access pass. So actually new things, and you need to actually and also right now, I said right now mean this stage, these are the most productive solutions, but definitely in future these will change. Okay, so let me move to the any questions, guys, while I'm going with the other stuff. Okay, and also let me go to the PIM role. Okay, let me talk about a little bit on the PIM. I might go different way because in my list actually not organized properly. Not only talking about the PIM. So one configuration I was actually looking at in many organizations nowadays, actually no one will have the like global admin accounts. So uh, that's how they are keeping it. And also uh, we do have like let's say emergency access, emergency the grey glass accounts for the global admin. Those are active roles, but we are not assigning any global admin with a uh, active with this. That's the best practice you need to do. So like any organization, if your organization still have global admin in active state. So what I mean by the active, so if you have the privilege identity management, the PIM, it's available with the P2 license, Entra ID P2 license. So if you have that's available on your organization, you will have these options like rather than we giving a role to a person, like let's say I've been assigned a role to Dinet or Prashant. Let's say they are working with my organization. I have given one for Intune, one for Global admin. Imagine their account got compromised. That's mean my organization going to be compromised as well. So how we going to block it, and how you give like least privilege? You can do it with the privilege identity management. So when we discuss with the privilege identity management, there are many configuration you can do onto it. Other I have seen many companies actually rolling out just remove all the roles and put it on the eligible set. That is not the rollout you are looking for. So you can go a little bit further. You can customize certain stuff. So let me show you what we have done. Some scenarios. So one is the global admin, what we discussed. So let me go to the roles. Okay, so once you go to the global admin, you will have eligible and the active. So those options are there, and you can add the assignment. So eligible mean you will activate the role whenever you require with a duration. After that, it will automatically uh, change to eligible state. So active mean always it will be there even when you log in or log out, even your shift is done, that role will be attached to your ID. So let me go to configuration. So we can first, for the global admin, in my understanding, we don't need a global admin for a more than 8 hours. Okay, so what I have done is like I have limited this to 4 hours actually. Based on, these are actually based on your I said okay, your organizations. Okay, so what I have done is like, because we do have IM team, and each and every roles we have given not the highest role, so they do have their own roles to work. But let's say uh, we activate the global role very very rarely. Okay, so that's mean we know that it's only need only certain time of period. So based on that, we came, okay, we will activate this for 4 hours. And I do have a conditional access policy for re-authenticate. I will talk about this, the authentication context. So this will, what actually going to do is like, rather than generally in default in the configuration, it's actually going as none. So that's mean when you activate any role, it not actually do anything. Like, that's actually similar to having a role with active always. So why we move roles to eligible state? We want to make sure that we are actually going to protect these users. So the way we can do is like, the easiest way is to make sure that Azure MFA. But my choice of work is actually, I have created an authentication context, and I have created a re-authentication policy. So when a person is actually activating this role, his entire login, the login will be what we call as the tokens and everything will be expired, and new token will be there, and he will get a new MFA, and the password, username and password, or re-authentication. Like, I'll get the Windows Hello authentication. So that's mean my entire token will be regenerate. So let's say if someone has actually copy your copy your credential, not the credential actually. Nowadays no one actually copying your username and password. So they actually copy your the what we call the hash and those backend stuff. So I don't remember the so so they actually authenticate with the backend information on your browser. So token, sorry, yeah, the tokens. So there are many online like community stuff there, actually, how you can do testing on the token compromisations, so token attacks. So this way actually it will make sure that a new authentication token will created, and because these tokens actually have their own validity of period. So this way it will make sure that re-authenticate, and user we need to re-authenticate, so we know that a legitimate user is actually using. And even we can have many other authentication conditional access policy, where let's say when you activate the role, either you need to have in the location, or you can have many controls, or many controls you want to create. You can do it with the conditional access this way. And also what I have done is the other part is the required approvers. So we have done is like, even though you have a global administrator login, we have add certain IAM principals, or senior members who can actually approve it. So you have a, let's say, IT manager, or not the IT manager, let's say a senior consultant, or senior system engineer required global admin. So we have given that role, but someone in the team has to approve it. Even though he is on the approval list, he cannot approve his login. So that's way we know that when a person is activating the role, he has to tell the other person what they are going to do, and when the person is actually approving, he has to put it a justification. Because what I have seen, many organizations uh, have many issues, or the major incident though in my calls are happening because someone has done something. So we need to know that that person is actually doing a change. So what you can do is like, let's say you can add your team members, so then you aware that other person is aware, actually you have activated the role. So if something happened in the yesterday, because you have done some certain change, so we can go and audit, and we can ask that person what you have done. So then we actually limiting those access. And also for the global administrator, we can actually have, rather than permanent roles, we can actually make sure that expiration as well. That's up to you. Based on your organization, you can have it, those stuff. And also I have done another change. So uh, users been assigned, let's say, the notifications. So when a eligible user is actually activating this role, I have done is like, I have add the IM team, or IT team, to get a notification. So then we know that someone with this person has been activated this role. Even though the two someone is to approve it, everyone in the team will get the notification. That's up to you how you want to manage it, because sometimes when you have so many alerts, people will not look the alerts. So that's all up to you. So you can have, what I have done is like, I have at the IM DL on here, and also uh, assign. So when you assign someone an active role, so rather than the eligible, so eligible anyhow we will get the alert, and eligible we have create those approvals and re-authentication. But the active roles, so active is the most unsecured way. So if you are going to assign a role in active way, what you can do is like, you can have the SOC DL on here. So let's say, as a IM engineer, I'm going to add a user in active way. It might be it came on the ticket and it's all approved. Now I have to given the active role in a we can give it as a time duration as well. Let's say only for tomorrow change, SOC will get alert. And before I do this change, generally what I'm doing is like I have a practice of saying that the SOC team, I'm going to do this change. So then SOC also know about this one, and even let's say like IAM team, the identity access team has the most access. So imagine if I got compromised, if someone is trying to grant the global administrator or assign the roles on active roles, if someone has done that part, we will immediately get the SOC alert. And SOC team can actually intervene. Uh, so that's another way. Actually, we can make sure that the visibility and the monitoring is there. So you can actually roll out these methods to other other role as well. Like this is only global administrator. So you can actually search what are the privileged roles. So not we don't require all the roles to be have these level of complications. So there are roles called privileged roles. Microsoft has defined those roles. I think there are uh, I'm not sure the amount, but I think it's around like 70 or 20 or something like that. So you need to do that these steps to all the your roles, that those privileged roles. So after that, any person who activated the role, assigned the role, these principles or these configuration will be applied. So this is actually a global level configuration like the it's actually all the global administrator will have these privilege, these configurations. So that's something from the zero trust architect we need to implement, and we need to make sure that, because rolling out PIM is not like uh, just people using on the eligible state, it will not work. So we need to have those conditional access, and we need to have approvals and justifications. Even I have enabled certain stuff like, okay, for the help desk, they need to have the ticket information on the activation. So then rather than having the justification for the, let's say, help desk role, when they activate it, or help desk team has sometimes they required Intune administrator some issues or some certain stuff, so they need to give the ticket information as well. So that's where actually we make sure that uh, everything is documented, everything is actually on record. When we troubleshooting, that's actually give a proper visibility. So any questions, guys, on the PIM? Okay, let me okay, okay, 1 hour is already gone. Let me have another topic. Okay. Okay, let me go to the enterprise application. So I recently got these questions like many users seems like where many organizations has experience like when they join to a meeting, there are AI bots are actually logging because users has been subscribed to different AI apps, and they are getting notes from there. That's okay, but these are not actually approved apps, and how we can actually stop those stuff and make sure that we have protected on those in areas. So what you can do is like, first you need to enable the disable the user consent and enable the admin consent flow. So there are two things. So one is the user consent. So right now it's actually on the Microsoft managed user consent, so that's okay. But for me, the best way is actually do not allow users to consent, and allow I'm not this is a test tenant, so I don't need to do all the configuration in here, but and allow the user admin consent on here. And so this way actually it will create a workflow. So uh, when a person actually trying to integrate any application, like let's say uh, Clued AI or I today I have so that the read.ai bot. So each and every application they supply, so they use their credentials. It's actually coming on the enterprise application. So if you see those users, every application will be authenticated on here, and they will get that the graph level permissions if you are not enable those stuff. So once you enable this admin consent flow, so it will actually send you an email, and after that you can review it, and I will show you the location where you can actually go and approve it. So first you need to enable this configuration. After that you can add users who can actually review and approve it. So people you need to mention on here who are the people who are going to review that application. So you can, from the directory you can find it, or else you can give a group, or now they are a privileged, right, roles as well. So if you have that role, that means automatically you will get the consent level workflow role. So for me actually I'm using a group, so it's much easier because generally uh, in the Microsoft environment, what I have seen is actually when you work with the groups, you have more like it's much easier you to manage. So that's way you can actually on here you can have that. And so let me go to the consent. So let's say once you got an email saying that okay, consent email, and user will have a justification type, and after that we will get the alert, and we can actually go to admin consent. You will see all the application what is pending right now. This is a test run, so I don't have anything, but you will see something on here, and you can actually, let's say, read.ai, and you can click and you can review and you can approve it. So that's the way actually you can limit. So that way you know that these are the approved application and these are not approved application. So rather than, because users sometimes what I have seen is like users doesn't know this actually creating a enterprise, allowing the enterprise application and granting application, because the way is going on right now, the most unsecured location is the enterprise application. And also if someone is born to hack your environment, the easiest way you can do it with the enterprise application. If I'm doing the penetration testing and trying to compromise the environment, I'm not going to use the user credential. So if I have a credential, what I'm going to do is like first I go and create an enterprise application and get the token from there, and after that I will have graph API access, and from there actually I can, from the backend I can get everything. So that's the easiest way actually we can do it, and that's the critical part, the service principles that we need to make sure that we can actually manage. So these are actually not most of the organizations are not actually managing well. When you're looking at the application, you will see that in my test environment it's 28, but for many customer environment it's more than 1000 to 2000 application. So the cleaning as also it's going to be headache, but this you need to make sure that it's clean, allow only a certain application, and also you have not grant any high level graph permissions, and not allow SharePoint read, write, all access. There are ways actually you can give only selective site in the SharePoint. So because many organizations what we have seen is like the attackers are actually not going to block or anything, like they just try to copy your data, the confidential data. So that's mean your OneDrive data and the SharePoint data. So if you are giving you the application to read all site, that's a mistake. And in the SharePoint, in the graph permission, we have site dot selected, but it required a different way to map the site. So it's required PowerShells and those stuff, but you can do it. It's been there for a while, but make sure. But it's not like very easily we can do it, because what I have seen so far is actually for admins, giving this site dot selected in the graph permission actually sort of a huge work for them, because it take time. So for and also the users or requesters or application developers, for them it's much easier, because getting the full access and they can actually query any sites, rather than each and every time asking at this site or at different sites. So but for the security side, it's a very huge risk area. So make sure that you have locked down those areas as well. uh, and and okay, so there are other thing as well, like let me copy this URL. So uh, so let's say you are a privileged role user. So in my organization, we do have, these are the privileged roles. Okay, you will have the list of privileged roles. These are the privileged roles. So imagine, like, let's say you have many privileged roles. In my organization, we have around 200 users having privilege role, more than that. So it's very complicated. Okay, so imagine one of the privilege role use has been compromised. So the attacker first, what going to do is, like, they will reset the passwords and everything, and make sure that that user will not able to log in till he done this part. So what we can do is, like, yes, we have the SSPR, the self password reset, self service password reset. But Microsoft does have a two-gate policy. So the two-gate policy, what is going to do is, actually once you run this command, actually it's going to block the self password reset for privileged users. If anyone has this privileged role, because we cannot tell only these users need to disable, because it will change, because people will have privileged roles, some people have non-privileged roles, because we time to time change these roles. So this is one configuration we can do, and make sure that the administrative, any admin account will not have the SSPR. This is much important. Yes, once we start having chat with the people, it it will actually create a huge discussions, and they will not agree, but you need to show them the reality, so how they can reset. Yes, there are many other options, but we need to make sure that self password reset is not available for administrators. So this is the command, actually you can do it, and these are the privileged roles you need to monitor. So yeah, any questions, guys? So let me go a little bit further now. Okay. After that, I'll jump into the what called conditional access, where all the magics and everything happen. So and also I think it was there for a while, and so Microsoft has now, they have shift these authentication methods. Like uh, I'm not sure whether every organization nowadays using it. Let me show you this one. So this one, the configuration, you need to go to the authentication policies, Microsoft Authenticator, and the configuration. Each like even the phishing, the passkey authentication, these configurations are there. Just go and see. So uh, I have seen many organizations previously also using this. This has been there for a while, but it's good to enable this one. Let's say when you enable these options, like these information, it actually give you some idea when people are actually approving the authenticator. So This is currently in Microsoft Manage. That's mean by default it's actually disabled. So, but you can enable this one. So once you enable this one, users will get, when they're going to approve it, that they will not get only the authenticator, the code. They will get the with those three pins, they will get the locations and everything, the geographic locations. So where the person is actually requesting that the that that MFA authentication. So it's very good to have those stuff, and also the showing the application name. So these are actually all the organization has these days, but no one is actually enabled. Previously it was there, but I don't know why. But Microsoft has timely they have shift, and always they put some controls in that Microsoft Manage. Generally, what I have seen is like always disable the, if they're saying that Microsoft Manage, it's more or less it's disabled. So what you can do is like you can enable. So after that you will have those information, and users will have more information when they're going to approve it. So otherwise, like, they will know, doesn't know that why they are getting these alerts. And I have seen certain users got compromised, like they got multiple MFAs to approve it. So rather than denying each and every time, they just approve for one time, and after that they will not get any notification. So they think their account is secured, but actually they have allowed users to the attackers to get compromised. So this is where actually you can give uh, uh, more visibility and the more control. Okay. Okay. And also okay, because while we are on the authentication methods, let it go further. This one. So the temporary access pass. So we need to make sure that required one-time use. So this is, we need to enforce it rather than we allow users to select. So each and every token access pass, temporary access pass, we need to make sure that this tick is enabled. So then whenever use, it's a one-time use. So that's, we need to update. And passkey, there are many configurations now available, so just go through it, and things we can enable. So yeah, and any questions? So let me go on the groups. Yeah. Huh? Yeah. App password. Okay. I think it's very old right now, right? So previously it was there. Now I think it's been disabled, right? I don't think nowadays it's available for app pass. So the most secure, I will tell you the most secure one. Okay. I remember app password is see, previously it was actually they have discontinued it, but I'm not sure. But generally, the passkey is the most secured one, and we do have the Authenticate app, Microsoft Authenticator, and also temporary access pass, and the certificate-based authentication. These are the, right now, these are the most secured authentication methods. So others actually, in my understanding, we are not recommending other options. So because we need to make sure that each and every application, or each and every uh, authentication is not being able to re-authenticate with the same credentials. So because if the attackers is able to get the, imagine like the app password, so it's easiest to compromise. And even like because many organizations has many developers, and when they're going out, if they actually keeping all the information with them, they will have a backdoor to organization. So we don't need that, those sort of thing. So the privilege access account management, we do have not only the Microsoft solutions, we do have different PAM solutions as well, the CyberArk and Even the keeper has their own PAM solutions, and there are many PAM solutions available. So we need to re-authenticate. And if you are using other way, like let's say the application required service principal or service account. So now we can integrate those the PAM solutions. They will actually automatically update the passwords rather than keeping one single password. So they will rotate the passwords. Those solutions are there. I'm not saying that everything can be covered with the Microsoft solution, but you need to have, if you are actually looking to invest and if you want to protect the entire the IAM side, identity access, you might need to have different solutions. So each and every solution offer different ways. So yeah, I think we can actually okay. I was about to talk about the groups. Okay, let me jump onto the conditional access, and I'll get back on the groups later. So many challenges actually, many users having these days. Actually, people want to block the give me a second, because there are many things actually we can talk, but I do have a list of around 100 tasks, but today I'm not going to talk about all the things, but I'll talk about only the high level and the things actually you can easily implement. Okay, let me create a policy. Let's see what we have here. Okay, let's get some sort of let's create one. So when you're creating a conditional access policy, always remember when you include users, make sure to add your emergency break glass account as well. So that's a must. But for this is a test environment, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, sorry. Okay. Let me see what we can do. Okay, okay, this one. Uh, okay. Let me open this policy, because this is one of the policies many organizations fail to roll out. So that's why I actually want to discuss this one. So it has own limitations. So you need to go through with this one, because it's not like a PO like fully rollout method, because in generally most of the firewalls, if you're coming on the firewall background, what we have done is like we do have a top level inbound or outbound fully blocked route. After that only we will allow things. But in the Microsoft side, it's actually other way. Microsoft has allowed everything. So with the policies, actually we blocking those stuff. So because of that, it's very hard to block and identify. So right now it has own their issues. So I will talk about issues in later. But let me okay, SharePoint Teams. Okay, let me add one kind of there, because it's not supporting all the in the conditional access, you need to type the right name. Sometimes it's not actually coming. There. Okay. Okay, now it's available. Okay. If you are only selected those only three, this protection will be available. So this is one of the key protection. So why most of the users are getting compromised? Because of the tokens. So if you, the only solution right now available, this token protection, this is really good, but it's very hard to roll out because it has so many limitations. So once you actually able to deploy, able to roll out, so there are few tricks actually I have done. So one is the users. Okay, let me add this one. Okay, so users, you will have a method called add exclusion group. So let's say if you have rolled out everything and but if you have to exclude all the users who use the PowerShells, because this one actually has a limitation on the PowerShell. Okay, so yes, the limitations. Okay, here PowerShell module access in the SharePoint, and even the working on the PowerShell uh, very old ones like general Windows based PowerShells. Like if you are using the PowerShell 7, that will be work, but there are some configuration you need to do. Yeah, PowerShell 7. So this will work, but these two will not able to connect because this token protection will block your access because it cannot understand. And there are many issues like the Power BI team unable to connect to the database, and there are many things actually happening. And also there are things actually you can exclude. These are the configuration you can do it, and that's good. But sometimes even though you have done everything, it's still not able to work. So what I have done is like I have added exclusion group on here. So let me show you what sort of group I have created. So anyhow, there are three types of groups. So security groups, M365 groups, and distribution groups. So I have created security groups, but when I created the security groups, I just picked this the Microsoft Entra rows can be assigned. Yeah, that's a configuration ID. Let me go on here. Privilege. So because this is a really cool way actually you can do it. So in privilege identity management, we have three options. Okay, so one is the interrows we discussed about previously. So the second one is actually we can have the groups. So once you tick that options, the roles can be assigned. So that's after that only this will appear on here. Okay, so imagine groups. So security groups, you need to tick on here. So in Microsoft, Entra is actually shared space, because if you have Intune people can also create groups, manage groups, and they are from the exchange. They also can manage groups, certain groups. Teams also can do it. So if you are a person like, let's say, very confidential group, only let's say you are adding something called like managing application with a group. So I always recommend creating on this way. So creating as a group where with the roles can be assigned. So these groups only can be managed with the IAM roles. IAM, like the privilege identity management role. So that's way, because we do have for the IAM we do have a different role. So only that way you can actually manage it. So I always suggest like if this is a very important group, and this should not be managed by different team, because we have seen like certain incident like we have we actually adding people to the application using the groups on the enterprise application. So service desk also able to add the users from the group. So rather than they sending a ticket to us, they will actually add users from the groups rather than informing us. So the approval process and everything, evaluation will not happen. So what you can do is like you create these sort of groups. So then only IEM assigned those privileged roles can users can groups can be managed. So you need to enable this one. After that, go to the privilege identity management groups. Take a group. Let me create a group. I think after that you will get the idea, because there's an option we need to enable. Let me see, is there any application, any group? Okay. So after you create a group, you need to go on the group down here. You need to enable for PIM. So once you enable this one, this will onboard to PIM, and after that you will see this group. This is autopilot profile 2. So it was not previously there on the privilege identity management. So it will come on here. So after that, what you can do is like you can assign people. So let me assign one person as test person. So still we are on the token protection. Okay. So token protection, we are creating exclusion users. So excluding certain users who require to run, let's say, testing count. I don't know. Yeah, test. Okay, tested. Okay. Next, I'll be giving an eligible role. Okay. Membership type. Okay. So in groups we do have two roles. Okay. One is owner, one is member. So we actually can give a member role. So member role, and assign those people to here. I will add myself, so then I can show you as well. So let me add my account. So I'm giving member role to this user because I need to activate the I need to exclude in certain period. I can set up that period as well. So you can go to the privilege configuration, similar configuration what we have done previously. We can give, rather than 8 hours, we can make sure that people can exclude only for 1 hour. MFA as well, like this is actually re-authentication, it should be there, because that also make sure that it refreshed everything. So this configuration you can add, and even notification also you can send, right? Those things actually you can do it, and even the approvals and everything you can configure. Those are actually we discussed previously. So now when I go to my roles, okay, let me go to privilege identity management, my roles. So generally it will land on the Microsoft Entra roles. But if you go a little bit down, you will see the groups on here. So in here, group call or autopilot profile 2 is there. So once I activate it, if this group has been added on the conditional access policy via the exclusion side, so once I activated, it actually activate for a 1 hour. That's mean 1 hour, for only for 1 hour I can actually exclude from that policy. So imagine, because it has or a limitation, but we don't need to make sure that, okay, because this use is actually using PowerShell, and because of that we cannot actually roll out this policy. We don't need to exclude him for a full time. So this way actually we can give people on a very limited time. So so then actually they can activate, they can run their commands after that, because not everyone run PowerShell commands every day, run those stuff as well. So we can do like this. So this is the one way actually we were able to roll out those configuration. And also And also there's another security factor actually we need to configure. Let me open. Any questions, guys? So conditional access, we do have multiple configuration policies we can do. Okay, so this is a one policy actually I was going to talk about. So this actually we recently recently roll out. So let me go to conditional access. So let's say you have a user, and that user required to log in, need to change the password. So where we go to the profile, and we go to view my account, or there's a URL called myinfo dot no, security dot Microsoft dot co. No, my let me give me a second. Okay. Okay. So security info, mysignin.microsoft.com. That's the page you will go to change their password. Okay, I'm not going to go there. Okay, let me go back. So because I do have a weird configuration on my environment, and always ask to check the MFA. So so you can create this configuration. Let me close. Okay, so this is one of the other configuration we have to do. So you can go to on here, create an application, test all users. So on here you need to select use actions and register sign in information. So this way actually, when a person going to security the security page, the changing the password, self password reset page, we can actually put a network parameter saying that if someone want to change their network, change their passwords, they need to on the uh, organization environment, or they need to connect on the VPN. So that's way we make sure that uh, credentials are actually in a managed location, rather than people cannot actually change passwords on public the internet. So internet location, so connecting from the home. So even though you connected, you need to have the VPN connection and VPN IP, so then you can actually change. So this is another configuration we can actually roll out. And also the I just remember that the re-authentication policy I have created. So you need to go to the authentication context on here. You can create authentication context name. You can give a name. So the authentication context in here, it's like a name. So the general way is actually it's a sort of a name we are putting on here. So and it will map to a policy. So let's say I just create I do have certain policies, key authentication. Let me show you. So it's just a name and with the ID which is being tagged. Okay. So then when I'm creating a policy on here in the conditional access, I can actually make sure that that tag, uh, let's say a user target on the drop down, the authentication context. So right now you can only select either resources or users. So I'm going to select authentication consent. That's mean whenever this is triggered, this policy need to run. So imagine like it's a path we are creating. So I just create the map the authentication context. After that, I can create either like, let's say, a re-authentication. So in the re-authentication, make sure that you add the MFA as well. That's a recommendation. So you need to have the authentication, and after that, sign in frequency every time. So this way it will automatically re-authenticate. So that's something you can actually calculate. So that's a one thing. And also so we create all these controls, okay. But imagine like if the attacker is able to compromise the environment. He came to the conditional access and disabled all the policies. So we need to have a authentication context is mapped to the conditional access policies. When a user is created, user is creating the policy, updating the policy, and disabling the policy. So we need to go to the protective protective actions. Let me go there. Yes, second. For some reason, I'm not able to move. Give me a second. I'm refresh this one. So, any questions while actually I'm going through this one? So, also we do have a community page where you can actually get the updates. So, let me publish that as well. So, people can actually uh, go there and so let me pull that on as well. Give me a second. Okay, false protective actions. Protective action. So, okay. So, imagine like as an admin, you need to make sure, because I have seen like, because let's say even though you are a IM team, okay, uh, even though you are IM team, and I think Buddhika, you can publish on the WhatsApp group. You can put it on the WhatsApp group for others to scan. So I have put it as well. So you can actually scan this QR. So you can log into our groups. So we do have a few groups, volunteer groups and the update groups, general groups. So that way you can actually make sure that whatever our upcoming sessions, physical or online. So we do have physical one and the online one every month. So you can actually login. So there are multiple topics and different speakers will come. So the protection actions are like, let's say you do have a set of users. So I'm going to map this protective action for this conditional access. Okay. So imagine like, let's say you have many users who actually I'm going to use this policy as a re-authentication policy. Okay. So many users might be actually have conditional access for the for as a team. So if someone has actually go and try to do change, we need to make sure that there is another barrier. Like even like when you try to change the password, it's asked like whether are you confirm to change, like that sort of a thing. Actually we can actually control there. Like, let's say the conditional access, we need to make sure that even my account is got compromised when the person trying to go, rather than they going to activate a role. Let's say the conditional access role is actually full-time active. So if someone is actually going to change something, they need to trigger some action. So even the location, so you can actually, when you're working with the authentication context, that's up to your imagination. Like, you can create many scenarios, many policies. So simple policy we can do is like the re-authentication. So you can actually select this is the basic conditional access: update, create, delete. So I'm going to protect my conditional access. There are many other stuff as well. So I'm going to create a protection on here. So whenever person is trying to update, delete, or create, this conditional access policy will trigger. So whatever the authentication context, what I have done, it will automatically create. So before they do any changes, they need to either re-authenticate, they need to be on a locations, or they need to be on VPN. So this is actually only for conditional access I'm going to apply. So many organizations I know that they haven't even touched on the protective actions. So you can do so much. You can put a additional barrier on the conditional access, these protective actions. So that's one way actually you can protect even the misconfiguration as well. Okay. Any other questions? So so we discuss about many configurations. So definitely I can talk about so many stuff I have done to make sure that we are aligned with the zero trust architect. But so how we actually uh, get these tasks, like, because I started to explaining these stuff, that's actually not will not actually uh, not cover entire stuff. But imagine like otherwise what you can do is actually you can ask your partner or the partner vendor to come and implement those stuff. But uh, these actually every day you need to do it, like every quarter you need to review it. There are many things actually will come, there are many configuration will come, so you need to continually involve. It's not like one day you will do a zero trust deployment and that's it, you are protected. Not every quarter you need to review it, you need to add more configuration, you need to do certain changes on the conditional access. Even I have seen many organizations, uh, when I've been doing the conditional access policy in more than, I think, let's say 5 years back. So still the same configuration, same conditional access are there. But conditional access, even the conditional access, the settings are also changed now. So they are still using the old configuration policies what we have done. So these are every day we need to change, and even I think nowadays with the AI and stuff, we also need to involve and we need to learn as well. So I think as a managers, as IT engineers, it's better you work on the hands-on. So I will show you where you can actually get the baseline. So to implement those stuff, these are actually not a list of tasks. So you can run this command, PowerShell commands. So after that, you can actually extract all the information. It's give you dashboard views. You can even the present to your management. This is where we are. This is what we have to do. These are the list of action things. So you just need to search on zero trust assessment. Okay. So this is really good. Okay. So I'm not going to run it because it's take some time, and I cannot share the result as well, because whatever I have is post about the customer created stuff. So you can go here. You can run this assessment. So it's a bunch of links actually you need to install. After that, you need to run these commands. So you just need to follow it. So what will give you is like, it will give you not only identity side, it will give you the device level assessment as well. So it will give you a dashboard view with your organization detail, very specific. And even like, let's say if you have any high privilege application, they will give these are the high privilege applications. So you don't need to worry about what how to get extract, how to find those stuff. So this application will, this product will give you the very like all the information you need, like even the compliance level, even those these like each and every setup, every risk they find in your organization. If it's high risk level, they will show you. And also if you are not implemented, it will get failed. If you get if you have implemented, those will be test will be go as passed. So this is a really good tool. Actually you can implement these are like you can do it with your own understanding, and after that uh, you will have a, I think, wonderful time implementing these policies, because really good that when you start to seeing those gaps, because I have seen in many organizations sometimes even the device side, they have allowed unlimited devices to be on board. So some time back I think someone has changed that policy. Now it's been able to identify from this these things, because many configurations are just a tick or just a simple just like enable or disable. So we need to find those stuff. This will give you like around 50-60 tasks you need to do. But imagine like you need to start balancing those stuff, because you are not actually uh, following all the documents and destroying the entire organization ecosystem. So you need to make sure that you adapt, you educate the team. These user adaptation need to happen. I remember one policy I have deployed is guest policy. Guest users should have a lifetime, because rather than the re-authentication. So I think it's for the Microsoft, their recommendation is every 24 hours they need to re-authenticate. But one of my customers actually they do have around 5,000 of users and 20,000 of guest users. So they are actually more interacting with the guest users. So if I once I roll out those policies, it will impact the entire business. Some users actually not using their products, because these guest users are actually using their own products, and sometimes they start ignoring using them. So you need to come with the plan saying that, okay, rather than we go in a 24 hours re-authentication, let's we go in the 7 days or 1 month re-authentication. So rather than we spend staying on for 90 days, we can actually reduce, and after that we reduce little further. So you will find the right spot. Yeah, the guest users are happy, and we our security also happy. So you need to come on that level. So that's my idea, because even though many security engineers will agree that, okay, this is the best line because we see many security threat, but it's we need to think on the business as well. So your business is getting impacted, if your business is getting down, no matter how you configuration are done, definitely you will lose the job, definitely you will lose the organization, uh, the profits and everything. So we need to make sure that everything is matched. So any questions, guys, before we wind up? So this is the way you can actually get those baselines and start deploying it. And if you have any questions, actually you can post it on the our WhatsApp group. So when you're rolling out, use the general chat. So if you have any questions, post it on there. There are many professionals actually on that group. You don't need to wait till I reply. There are many professionals will actually come and reply. And in our community, so the IT Pro community, we are not only doing security trainings. We do have AI related stuff, development stuff, and infrastructure. There are many topics we cover, and we are now having online sessions and physical sessions as well. So all the recordings will be uploaded to YouTube, and you will get those information on the our WhatsApp group. So if you don't, if you have any questions, you can raise your hand, and otherwise we can actually wind up the session. Okay, seems like no questions, and yep, I think we can yeah, we can wind up. I think Dinit, we are all good, right? So do we need to wait? Thank you. Good night.